Patrol is a series that nobody expected to continue this far. With over 200 episodes in the series, successful merch sales, a fandom that has a lot more people in it than you think, especially in the older age groups. More recently, its first theatrical film, and not the last, as well as its 9th season to air sometime this year. But that doesn't mean the series is all flower and rainbows. Despite it being your average preschool show, with rescue dogs rescuing people, it does have a dark side to it. Content that never made to air, mysteries, and conspiracies all around. It's no surprise that people like myself are creating icebergs on this discussion. But what is an iceberg? Unless you've been living under a rock this whole time, an iceberg starts at the top with what people already know being the light side of this. However, as you go deeper and deeper, the topics become more obscure, filled with unfamiliar conspiracies. And for Paw Patrol, it has plenty of these. So with that all said, let's find out how deep this iceberg is. Keith Chapman. Let's begin this iceberg with the man that sorta started it all. This actually started with Spin Master around 2010, after Ron and Harry, who was the co-founder of Spin Master, designed a transforming toy truck that they wanted to incorporate into a series, with having animals at the helm because who doesn't love those? They called on different creators to send proposals. One of them came from Keith Chapman, who was known for creating other shows, most notably Bob the Builder. His idea was rescuing dogs, rescuing people. This idea stuck, and with a couple of tweaks and reworks to the original concept over the years, Paw Patrol would go on the air 3 years later on August 12, 2013. Character ages. Up to the introduction of Tracker, every Paw Patrol member has a confirmed age. These are all according to the wiki. Ryder is 10 years old, Everest is the oldest pup on the team at 8, Chase and Skye are both 7, though when Pups turn on the lights, Chase did have a birthday episode, so I assume this would make him 8 years old. Rocky and Marshall are both 6, Rebel and Zuma are both 5, and Tracker is the youngest at 4 years old. Paw Patrol the Movie. In 2021, 8 years after first going on the air, the series released its first of many theatrical films with the Paw Patrol movie, which ended up doing really well. The movie was well received by both critics and fans alike. With a budget of around $26 million, it made over $130 million globally, and over $40 million in the US alone. And because of this success, a sequel is in development to release in 2023. Speaking of which, The Mighty Movie. The sequel to the first movie will be On the Mighty Pups, a concept that had its own TV movie in 2018 and 2 sub-series following this. The only info on this sequel is the main character will be Skye, and the movie will introduce a new villain, only known as the Mad Scientist. Oh, and Humdinger will be in this too, unfortunately. The sequel was announced in November and will drop in theaters on August 12, 2023. The spin-off series. Along with the Mighty Movie, the announcement also revealed that the spin-off series was in development, also to release in 2023, though a full date has not been confirmed yet. The only thing we know about this spin-off is that it will focus on one of the main 6 pups, though which pup it will be has not been confirmed yet. Paw Patrol Live. Paw Patrol Live is a live show for the series that has toured globally since 2016, with 2 shows being produced, Race to the Rescue in 2016 and The Great Pirate Adventure a year later, and even Paw Patrol Live at Home in 2021 due to the pandemic. The shows are produced by V-Star Entertainment Group, who also produced the Sesame Street Live series from a time being from 2015 to 2017. Hello Adventure Bay. Hello Adventure Bay is a semi-fictional TV news program that is hosted by Adventure Bay's own Mayor Goodway. It is shown a few times in the series, showing of the aspects of the town and covering important events, such as Marshall trying to break the record for the fastest fire pup in the world, and Pups Fight Fire. Subseries. Subseries for short are a group of programs that are subordinate to a larger series, and there can be multiple in a series. For Paw Patrol, there are plenty of these. First introduced with Mission Paw in Season 4, the sub-series has become a normal occurrence every season, introducing new content to the series, new characters, new location, new gear, and vehicles. Considering how much Spin Master is making off these merch and other aspects, I don't expect the sub-series to stop anytime soon. Guru Studios. Based in Toronto, Canada, Guru Studios has been animating Paw Patrol since the series first aired in 2013, and still does to this day. They've worked on other shows besides Paw Patrol, and actually while researching for this video, I found out that they animated the Backyardigans. Now this was my childhood. you learn something new every day. Original 5 shorts. These shorts were introduced in the series with Mighty Pups Charged Up, and as if the name didn't give it away already, they're 5 minutes long. The shorts returned in Dino Rescue sub-series, however there haven't been any shorts since then, and it's odd as to why they would stop this concept when they just introduced it. It is unknown if the series will reintroduce these shorts again in the future. Apollo the Super Pup. Apollo the Super Pup is a fictional character that stars in his own TV show of the same name. As evident in the series, he has a good marketing presence. Comics, cereal boxes, even Rubble donning his own Apollo costume in a few episodes. In Season 3, Apollo made his first and only 3D animated appearance during Rubble's dream in Pups Save Apollo. Unfortunately for Apollo, he last appeared in Pups Save a Satellite, the final episode of Season 3, and has never appeared or been mentioned in the series since. The Rubik's Cube short. Paw Patrol's Instagram page posted a short in 2021, where Ryder solves a Rubik's Cube. This is very rare, as the series has never posted shorts like this before. By the way, these are unrelated to the original 5 shorts that I mentioned earlier. Tracker's Breed. Tracker is a bilingual pup that was introduced in Season 3, the first new male pup in the series, and has the ability of super hearing. Despite this, there is one lingering question about him that still is being discussed, and that is his breed. Some have said that he is a Chihuahua, while others have said that he is a potcake. Ted Bastian, the current director of the series, was asked which breed Tracker was. He responded that Tracker is a potcake. Skye's unused vehicle. This is the first of many pieces of content that was cut from the series. This one was found on Volume Studios, who worked with Spin Master in developing new vehicles for the series. I tried to access this site a few times, but it looks like it no longer exists. Luckily, we were able to get the images from the site, and one of them is this, a vehicle, possibly for Skye that never made it into the series. It looks really detailed, almost similar to the detail in the Paw Patrol movie. It is unknown as to what this was going to be for originally, for the series, or for the movie. Zuma's speech impediment. Zuma is a great character and one of the most underrated in the series. Him having the chill personality and saying dude frequently makes him more unique than others. However, there is one thing that separates him from the other pups. In the early seasons, mostly in Season 1 and 2, Zuma has speech impediment, whereas ours would sound like W's. He lost his trait during Season 3, and altogether when Alex Thorne stopped voicing the character after Season 3. Foggy Bottom. Foggy Bottom is a town located outside of Adventure Bay that is home to the main antagonist of the series, Mayor Humdinger, and his catastrophe crew. What's interesting about this town is that we don't actually see it, as it's mostly covered by fog. The only 2 locations we know about this town is Humdinger's lair and this bench. Other than those, we don't know what Foggy Bottom looks like. Hopefully we'll get a full view of it in the future. Cut Desert Rescue concept. Like Skye's vehicle from before, these vehicles have not been in the series, this time having each one for the pups, and one once again made by Volume Studios. The only thing we know about these vehicles is that they were supposed to be for a sub-series called Desert Rescue, which has never been mentioned about to this day. Junior and Rosie. The Mighty Twins were introduced in the Super Paws sub-series under the names Tuck and Ella, but at one point they almost had different names. Back in 2019, before Pups Meet the Mighty Twins aired, fans could choose which of the 2 sets of names would be the names for the Mighty Twins. Takanela was the first, and Junior and Rosie were the second. Takanela won and became the names of the Mighty Twins. For Rosie, however, this name would come back again, becoming one of the original names for Liberty, as seen in some of the earliest storyboards for the Paw Patrol movie. Ryder's Mission Paw attire. In one of the promos for the Mission Paw sub-series, Ryder is seen wearing a different outfit than we see in the Mission Paw episodes. The differences are his black torso, gray pants, white sneakers, and white knee pads. There is no indication as to why this was never worn in the episodes. Maybe this was what he was going to wear originally, but changed it and never updated the promo. Pups Save Marshall storyboard. On a website called rickfairlamb.com, there is a storyboard for an on-air episode of Paw Patrol called Pups Save Marshall, uploaded in September 2016. This would be around the time when Season 4 was in production for the series, and there is an episode titled Pups Save a Tiny Marshall that aired in Season 4. so maybe it was scrapped and replaced with this episode. It is unknown if this episode made it further in the storyboard process. Ryder is 14 in the Paw Patrol movie. Ryder has always been 10 years old in the series, and that has not changed. However, according to Ryder's Paw Patrol movie voice actor, Will Brisbane, in an interview with Fab TV, when asked how old Ryder was during the events in the movie, Brisbane stated that Ryder is 14, canonically. However, no one else has mentioned that Ryder is 14 other than Will Brisbane. Not even Cal Roker, the film's director, has confirmed this. Marshall's Spin Master anniversary message. The Rubik's Cube short, as I mentioned before, is a rare one for the series. However, there was another short that was uploaded on Vimeo in 2015, featuring Marshall wishing Spin Master a happy anniversary. At the time, it was Spin Master's 20th anniversary. It's a very rare occurrence of the series to see the characters talk straight to the viewer, like a fourth wall break, in a way. Chase's nightmare. In early scripts for the Paw Patrol movie, there was going to be a scene in the movie where Chase would have a nightmare of his fears in Adventure City, but this never made it into the final version. According to director Cal Brunker, the reason for this was because the audience would already understand his fears up to that point, so they didn't really need it. There is no info on what this scene would have shown off, though it did make it to the storyboard stage. Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan is a stand-up comedian, actor, author, and voiceover artist, who at the time in 2016 was airing a show called The Jim Gaffigan Show, about to air its second season. In an interesting way to promote the show, he made a guest appearance in a 30-second ad for Paw Patrol that features him as an English bulldog, similar to Rubble, and has a fork as his pup tag, which makes me think he likes food. I think he and Rubble would get along very well. Ryder's Paw Patrol. This is one of the early concepts for the series in 2012, where we get a look at some of the early character models for the series. It looks like the series was going for a different take on animation instead of the one that we see today. The models are very similar to those that are used for the series, except for a few, with Chase having a couple changes to his own design in the process. And even more interesting is Rocky, who instead of having a gray color as we know in the series, is beige in this concept. There is also this map of Adventure Bay, which looks the same as the one right now, though there are a few locations that have different names than now. I actually recommend taking a look at this, as there are some interesting changes. However, Ryder's Paw Patrol wasn't the first concept for the series. Raffy and the Rescue Dogs. Raffy and the Rescue Dogs was the original pitch by Keith Chapman to Spin Master. Some things about this concept are that Ryder was originally going to be called Raffy and had other names in consideration, such as Robbie and Roddy before settling on Ryder. Raffy was originally going to be an adult in this, and the pups would walk on hind legs, and would be rescued by Raffy before joining the team. And the show was meant to be more realistic. This drawn-up image by Chapman shows Adventure Bay as well in its early stage. There is also this concept later called the Ruff Ruff Ranch and the Lookout, which is instead called the Watchtower. The pups are featured in this as their designs look more live action than cartoonish. It's very weird seeing how realistic they look. Missing title cards. This one is a little hard to back up as there really isn't any video evidence out there, but fans have claimed that in very few episodes in the original airing, the title card that usually appears before each episode doesn't appear at all. I have experienced this personally with the episode Sea Patrol, Pirate Pups to the Rescue, as when I watched the original airing, the title card didn't appear, and went straight into the episode. This was the first occurrence of it happening in the series. This might have been an error, but I'm not sure how they ended up missing this in the end. Zuma blipping error. In Pups Take the Cake, after Ryder calls the pups to the lookout, watch Zuma on the far left. Here it is again if you missed it. Takanela's owners. This one is kind of hard to explain, but with their introduction episode in Pups Save the Mighty Twins, Takanela were introduced to the series. What's interesting about this is in Everest Tracker's debut episodes, they both were strays before joining the team. Now for Takanela, they already have tags on them, which could signify that they have owners, but this is never explored upon in the series. It's a mystery that will probably be left unexplained. Temple under City Hall. In Pups Save the Hidden Golden Bones, the pups and the Mayor Humdinger find a hidden room or temple under City Hall that contains golden bones. What's interesting about this is that who built this temple under such an area? And second of all, the statue in the back looks very similar to Rocky, but there's no indication if this has any relation to him. Sylvia. Sylvia is a light blue German shepherd that appeared in Pups Save a Herd. She appears on the screen for a grand total of 14 seconds. She's never seen the series again after this episode. Regular police officers. A big question about Paw Patrol is where is the law enforcement? There is not one location in the series that has any real form of law. Police officer, firefighters, none of that. There is one occurrence though. We know Butch and Reuben, Humdinger's bodyguards in the Paw Patrol movie, are really the only form of law enforcement that we see. However, in the Paw Patrol movie Golden Book, this isn't the case. In one of the pages, these two are replaced by regular-looking police officers. Even though this is a book, it's the only time where we see actual law enforcement in the series. Skye's promo errors. There are many errors in the series in terms of animation, as we've seen with the zoom-up blipping error. And in promos there are some errors as well, though for some reason they all have to do with Skye. Some examples of this are her vest being a lighter shade of pink when it's darker pink in the show, this Ultimate Rescue promo that has Skye just wearing her police hat and not her police attire, and finally, this one from Pups, with Skye having Wildcat's attire and collar instead of her own. The JoJo reference. In the Mission Paw episode, Royally Spooked, Sweetie is able to control stuff around the castle, including the suits of armor. In one of the scenes, the armor suits strike a familiar poses from JoJo. Fun fact, some of the developers on Paw Patrol are actually fans of JoJo. This took a few years for people to realize that this was a reference. Shipping. Alright then, how should I put this? Shipping is normal. Most shows, even cartoons, have it. Paw Patrol is no exception to this, where multiple ships have been created from these characters, mostly the pups themselves. These moments mostly occurred in the first 3 seasons of the series. However, since then it is tampered off. Ted Bastian, the series director, has gone on to state that the pups are just friends, nothing more. I don't ship characters at all, but if you do ship them, just please don't take it too far. Timber. Timber was a pup/adult dog that appeared in a concept for Ryder's Paw Patrol in 2012. Unfortunately, he never appeared in the series, though he probably served as the inspiration for Everest, a character that would later appear in the series. Ryder's parents. Where are Ryder's parents? That is one of the questions that has been asked since the beginning. Well, in 2016, a post by Paw Patrol's Twitter account stated that his parents are in fact around, but the series intends to keep the show focused on just Ryder. Hopefully, we'll get to see them in the show sometime in the future. Mighty Tracker. Tracker was originally supposed to appear in the Mighty Pups Super Paws sub-series in Season 6, and have his own mighty powers. However, he never made an appearance in the sub-series, despite a confirmation and a few pieces of merch and promotional material with him in it. It's unknown as to why he never appeared in the sub-series. The Lookout Basement and Workshop. In the Mighty Pups TV movie, we got our first look at the Lookout Workshop, where I assume Ryder makes all the equipment and gear for the team, showing Marshall's pup house, probably a spare one, all the vehicles in the series up till Season 5 on the back wall, and an unfinished ATV. The Lookout Basement was also shown off, showing a bunch of boxes, though what is contained in them is never answered. After this movie, these 2 portions of the Lookout have never been seen in the series again, up to this point. Bolo Fest models. Bolo Fest was a film that was released to promote Liverpool, a high-end retailer which operates the largest chain of department stores in Mexico. Going back to the film, it's mostly promoted merch, more specifically toys, and that's where Paw Patrol comes in. They appeared in this film as well, promoting the new Dino Rescue sub-series. The animation looks good, but the models are, interesting, I guess? Imagine if these were the designs in the show than the ones we have now. I don't know how many people would approve of this, even myself. "2020 canceled rumors." 2020 was a bad year for pretty much everyone, including the series itself, which had some controversy of its own. I'm not going to get political on this, by the way. In the height of recent events revolving around police, many shows such as Cops and Live PD were taken off the air. Paw Patrol appeared to be going down a similar path when these accusations started to head towards Chase, and he became a victim of this propaganda thing. Eventually, rumors started going around that the series was cancelled. However, these were false, and Paw Patrol continued onward. Stephen Colbert segment. Paw Patrol isn't safe from being made into skits to coincide with the current state of the world. This is what happened more recently, in November at the Stephen Colbert Show. In the wake of the recent firefighter protest over vaccine mandates, the show would air a skit of Marshall refusing to get the vaccine, which leads to some consequences. I'm not going to explain the rest of it, but the video is still up on YouTube if you want to check it out for yourself. Far Cry New Dawn reference. Paw Patrol has many references to pop culture, and has made appearances in separate media itself. As for video games, not so much. However, there is one reference in the game Far Cry New Dawn that's a little interesting. In the game, if you go to this location called Kupka's Shack, you can find this newsletter written by Zip, who is a believer in government conspiracy theories. The newsletter mentions Ryan Reynolds and a bunch of other conspiracies. It also talks about Paw Patrol, stating that there are coded messages hidden in the series. So that raises the question, what are these messages that they refer to anyway? Digger. A few people have claimed that before the introduction of Rubble, there was a long-lost construction pup in the Paw Patrol. His name was Digger. How his story ends is pretty horrifying to say the least. While attempting to re-rail a set of tracks, Digger's paw got stuck on the tracks and, well, you can guess what happens next. However, this is only fanon and not actually true. Robot Chicken segment. Robot Chicken is a stop-motion series that hints on pop culture in the form of parodies. In one such episode called Cheese Pup Mountain, it features a segment on Paw Patrol. Some of the stuff in it is pretty dark. There's a video of this up on YouTube. I would not advise this for younger viewers. Watch this at your own risk. Creepypastas. Paw Patrol has plenty of these, with Digger that I mentioned before being one of them. The three that are most well known are the Blood Moon Massacre by Insomniac, which takes place after the events of Pups Save a Ghost Pirates, Paw Patrol The Final Mission, and Monkey's Paw by Gaffigan. Chase's Head Turn Error. In Pups Save a Tightrope Walker, after Ryder calls the pups to look out, watch Chase come into view. For a few frames, his head is turned 180 degrees in the opposite direction. Ouch. Zuma's singled out. In Pups Save a Tooth, Ryder and the pups try to convince Alex to go to the dentist, which is his main fear. Alex will only go if the pups and Ryder show up their fears, in which they all do, except for one, Zuma. For whatever reason, he is the only pup to not show his true fear. This isn't the only time he's been put on the sidelines, most of the time. In the series, Zuma's the most underrated character and the most underused. By record, he is the least used pup in every season for the exception of Season 5. And being absent from the mainline merge in some cases, it looks like Ryder is playing favorites, to be honest. And now, the last layer. There's only one thing for this, but there's a reason why I put this at the bottom. It's the worst of them all. You'll see what I mean once I explain it. Rule 34. This is the worst of them all by an absolute long shot. Let me explain. Rule 34 is a rule on the list of rules for the internet that cannot be allowed. And one of them is Rule 34, the most common of them all. What is it? It means that if it exists, then there's, well, that four-letter word that starts with P. And since it can be on anything that exists, Paw Patrol isn't safe. There are some servers out there that allow this on Discord. Do not look this up whatsoever. If you see just one image of this, you will be scarred by it, and you might never get that image out of your head. And with that all said, the iceberg is complete. I had over 100 options of what I could put into this, and narrowed it down to just around 50, which is a very good amount, though most of them were just simple topics. I didn't incorporate as many theories as I originally wanted to, as this being my first iceberg, and I wanted to make it simple for you all to understand without going overboard on certain topics. Like I said before, I had a bunch of topics left over that I didn't use for this, so a part 2 for this iceberg could become a reality in the future. With that said, what did you think of this Paw Patrol iceberg? And if there's anything that you think I should have included in this iceberg, tell me down in the comments below. Feedback is well appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, I will talk to you all later.